JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, 4 guns and several rounds of ammo seized in St. Elizabeth operation. Police are reporting that 4 guns, including a shotgun, 77.62 rounds of ammunition, and 4 magazines, were seized in a joint police-military operation in South St. Elizabeth on Thursday. In a post to its social media pages, the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF said the interoperability between the various land, air and maritime elements of the security forces led to the interception of drugs or guns criminal syndicate trading marijuana for illegal weapons and ammunition between Jamaica and Haiti. It added that the operational team consisted of members of the 2nd Battalion, the Jamaica Regiment, Jamaica Defence Force Air Wing, 2nd District Jamaica Defence Force Coast Guard, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force Narcotics Division, Area 3. Up to mid-morning on Thursday, the police said the operation was still ongoing. Man fatally shot by police, gun seized in Ocho Rios. A man was fatally shot by police in Ocho Rios, St. Ann on Thursday afternoon. He has not yet been identified. Reports are that shortly after 1 p.m., the man was aboard a vehicle from where shots were reportedly fired at the police. The lawman returned fire and the man was shot. Police say a gun was also seized. Teenagers shot and killed in Portmore. The Waterford Police in Portmore, St. Catherine, are searching for the killer of a 19-year-old resident on Wednesday night. The deceased has been identified as Tyrese Dorr, otherwise called African, unemployed, of Portsmouth, St. Catherine. According to reports, about 8:30 p.m., Dorr was standing on the road conversing with others when a silver Toyota Fielder motor car drove up. Shots were fired from the vehicle, hitting Dorr repeatedly. He was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Trainee cop died suddenly during training. A trainee police constable died on Wednesday evening during field craft training at the National Police College of Jamaica in Twickenham Park, St. Catherine. The deceased has been identified as Deshaun Brown. It is reported that the trainee cop was doing some physical activity when he collapsed and hit his head. It is suspected that he died from an asthma attack. The Jamaica Constabulary Force's Corporate Communications Unit says first aid was rendered and was assisted to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police in command has expressed its regret at his death. It says the Welfare Department, Chaplaincy and Medical Services Branch have been offering support to the immediate family members and the staff at the National Police College of Jamaica. 3 more charges: a U.S. student accused of torturing ex-girlfriend. Matthew Hyde, the 20-year-old University of the West Indies U.S. student, accused of locking his ex-girlfriend in his dorm room and torturing her with a clothing iron, has been hit with 3 additional charges. Hyde has now been charged with false imprisonment, malicious communication, and assault occasioning bodily harm. Hyde, who is of Bremer Avenue, Kingston 5, was previously charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm. The police believe the 19-year-old woman was held captive for at least 3 days in Hyde's room at the Georgia Lane Hall, during which she was tortured with a clothing iron and other stuff. She was discovered sometime after 10 p.m. on February 9. Police investigations have suggested that the victim was accused by Hyde of infidelity on the day before he locked her away in his room. Attorney at law Peter Champagny, who is representing the accused, said that his client is to reappear in court on March 9. A bail application is expected to be made then. The reason why an application was not pursued this morning is because we were just served with the statements in the matter, and consequently we would need time to assess the statement and also to conduct some inquiries on our own behalf in relation to Mr. Hyde, he said. The matter is a sensitive matter. It has generated a lot of comments on social media, understandably so, but at the same time, one has to be very careful because the matter is now before the court, Champagny cautioned. OPM hit by cyber attack. Police are investigating a cyber attack on the office of the Prime Minister, OPM. The government's operations have reportedly not been affected by the incident. In a release on Thursday, the OPM noted that a team of cybersecurity experts from the Cyber Incident Response Team and the major organized crime agency MOCA are working to assess the extent of the attack. It did not go into details regarding the nature of the attack. The OPM wishes to assure the public that all efforts are being made to protect the personal information of our staff and the stakeholders, the release read. It added that the office takes the security of its data and systems seriously and is working to address the situation. Desmond McKenzie closed and removed for repair following vandalism, says counsellor. Less than a week after the Desmond McKenzie close sign was unveiled in Somerset, Manchester, in honor of the country's Minister of Local Government, it has been vandalized. Jamaica Labour Party GLP councillor for the Johns Hall Division, Faith Sampson, said on Thursday that the sign was taken down by a welder. Our part was vandalized, so a welder living nearby took it down to repair it and replace it, she said. She added that parts of the sign were bent. He has taken it down to straighten and replace it, Sampson said. The sign has created widespread debate on social media, with many users questioning the renaming of Guava Walk Road in northwest Manchester in honor of McKenzie. Almost 2 years ago, the Guava Walk Road was rehabilitated, costing $5 million. An overjoyed McKenzie last Friday unveiled the street sign bearing his name, following a tour of a water shop being constructed in Somerset, a few miles northwest of Mandeville.
You must come to Manchester. Only Manchester want to get them
This is when you keep doing good, it just overflows, and we don't wait until we are all gone and then we all go to each other's grave and say something. We give it to each other in the living years.
And I'm honored, and I will remember this day. I remember my 70th birthday in December, the party that I had, and that night is engraved in my mind. I remember when they opened the Desmond McKenzie Center on King Street for the homeless. That touched me. But this one in a small rural community.
Last year, a homeless shelter was named in honor of McKenzie. The renaming of the road was organized by Sampson. She crossed the floor in the Manchester Municipal Corporation in mid-2020 from the People's National Party to the Jamaica Labour Party. Sampson recently said McKenzie was deserving of the road being renamed in honor of him, following a commitment she made to do so in June 2021. When Minister came and opened this road, Guava Walk Road, we made a commitment and we asked him for a water shop, and we said to him, Minister, when you come to open the water shop, we're going to rename this road Desmond McKenzie. We said Boulevard then. The water shop is not yet completed, she said. He's one of a kind. First thing is him love poor people. The less fortunate brothers and sisters talk about this man, that him go all out for the less fortunate, she added. Judge accepts authenticity of call data in one Don Gang trial. Chief Justice Brian Sykes has signaled that a 47-minute call that was made on January 8, 2019 appears to be consistent with call data that was extracted by the police. Justice Sykes, who continued the summation of evidence in the one Don Gang trial on Wednesday, said based on the evidence given by the two officers from the Communication Forensic and Cybercrime Division, the data was not altered. Justice Sykes cautioned, however, that not all the phone evidence given by the police officer in relation to names and numbers of alleged gang members who the former Don had spoken to is admissible in law because it came from a third-party source. Early in the trial, the former gangster testified that he secretly recorded conversations among members of the criminal network between January and September 2019. Justice Sykes said information from the telecommunication service providers supports the Crown's narrative on the data extracted from the phones in relation to the time, date, and duration. However, the judge said the witnesses from Flow and Digicel who spoke about general operations did not help in identifying specific data. Murder convict files suit against any further extension for DPP. Double murder convict Mervin Cameron has filed a suit in the Supreme Court seeking an order to bar the government from extending the appointment of Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn, KC, for a second time. Cameron stated in his affidavit that in the course of inquiring if a purported second extension was gazetted, he discovered that Llewellyn's first extension to remain in office as DPP beyond the age of 60 was not gazetted. He is seeking a declaration that in the absence of a gazetted appointment for Llewellyn to remain in office, it renders her office vacant. He is also seeking a declaration that the purported extension is illegal, null and void, and of no effect. He is also seeking an order to prevent her from getting a second extension. Llewellyn was granted a 3-year extension in July 2020, as she was due to retire in September 2020 at age 60. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, in announcing her tenure, had said she performed well over 12 years in office. Then opposition leader Peter Phillips had objected to the extension. Cameron said he engaged the services of attorney-at-law Hugh Wildman to make the necessary investigations. Wildman, who is representing Cameron, said a date is to be set for the hearing of an application for the injunction. The Attorney General is the respondent in the claim. Cameron stated that the Jamaica Printing Service, which is the official publisher and keeper of the Gazette, had not been able to produce any evidence of Llewellyn's gazetted appointment to remain in office. He said he caused Wildman to make inquiries at the Office of the Governor General to confirm whether there was any gazetted appointment of Llewellyn's extension, but the Office of the GG has not been able to produce any such evidence of the gazetting of her appointment. Cameron states further that under the Constitution of Jamaica, the appointment of the DPP is governed by Section 96(1), which stipulates that the DPP is appointed by the GG, acting on the recommendation of the Prime Minister after consultation with the Leader of the Opposition. The absence of any evidence of a gazetted extension given to Ms. Llewellyn to remain as the Director of Public Prosecution is a clear violation of the laws and warrants the immediate intervention of the Constitutional Court to protect the integrity of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, and preservation of the Constitution, he is contending. Cameron is calling for the Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the Attorney General to uphold the Constitution and the integrity of the ODPP. He said as an inmate, he wishes to challenge his conviction and sentence, and therefore he has an interest in the preservation of the criminal justice system, including the integrity of the ODPP. Cameron was convicted in 2019 of the 2012 murder of 43-year-old Barrington Davis, then Deputy Chief for Jamaica Post, and his friend Patricia Lamont Barneswell. They were kidnapped and fatally shot. Cameron was sentenced to life imprisonment and ordered to serve 35 years before he can be eligible for parole. A suit is pending in the Supreme Court in which Cameron has sued the government, seeking $35 million in damages for breaching his constitutional rights to trial within a reasonable time. He was in custody for 6 years before his case was tried. When contacted, Llewellyn declined to comment. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.